So reserves, resources, and ore. Few words seem to cause more confusion than the terms resource, reserve, and ore as they apply to mineral deposits. Indeed, it is not uncommon to find the words used interchangeably, as if they all mean the same thing. The meaning are actually very different. In part, the confusion arises because resource and reserves are common words, and each has a range of meanings depending on the materials being discussed. To a greater extent, confusion arises for another reason. We know mineral commodities are used in every aspect of our daily lives. Few among us have actually seen a mineral deposit, and therefore develop an understanding of how big they are, how they vary in richness, and what difficulties are involved in producing mineral raw materials. Further confusion results from the misuse of words by those seeking to make financial investment in mineral resources. Terminology given that follows has been adopted by the United States Geological Survey and most of the responsible geological organizations. The use of standard and exact terms as shown in Figure 1.9 necessary for valid estimates and comparisons of resource worldwide and for long-term public and commercial planning. To serve these purposes, the classification scheme is based on both 1. Geological characteristics such as grade, tonnage, thickness, and depth of the deposit, and 2. Profitability assessment dependent on extraction costs and market values. A mineral resource is defined as a concentration of naturally occurring solids, liquid, or gaseous materials in or on Earth's crust, in such form and amount that economic extraction of commodity form concentration is currently or potentially feasible. In a geological sense, the resources are subdivided into those that have been identified and those as yet undiscovered. Depending upon the degree of certainty, the identified resources fall into categories of measured, where volumes and tonnage are well established; indicated, where volume and tonnage estimates are based on less precise data; and inferred, where deposits are assumed to extend beyond known resources. In terms of profitability, resources are classed according to their current economic status as shown in the left side figure 1.9. When referring to metal-bearing materials, reserves or ore are that part of resources that can be economically and legally extracted at a given time. These are the materials that are mined or otherwise extracted. Processed and to meet the everyday needs of the society. It is important to note that legal and environmental as well as economic constraints must be considered because issues such as land ownership, the presence of endangered animals or plant species, and discharge of mining waste, potential carcinogenic effects of products of mining, or the incorporation of lands into national parks or wilderness areas may exclude otherwise mineable resources from reserve status. In such cases, those materials can continue to be considered as resources as their potential for extraction would be high. But they would not become reserves unless laws or other restrictions were changed.